As we're starting the month, and it should be a good month, a sweet month for us all, and a month full of blessing and of Torah. And speaking of Torah, we'll share a halacha. The Kaf HaChaim, Misha Nichnas Adar, we have to be besimcha. So the Kaf HaChaim brings that what happens if you're in the synagogue and you hear the Megillah, but there is one word that you just missed from the Megillah. So you're risking now having to read the entire Megillah again, now that you have missed the Megillah. As it says over here that we have to read or hear every single word. And so what happens if you're there, you did your best, but there's one word here, maybe another word there, that you missed? How can you make up for it? And the answer is that we learn from the laws of what is a rightfully kosher Megillah. So essentially, we want to aim to have a Megillah that is kosher, completely valid, with every single word written and inscribed with ink on a parchment. But there are some leniencies that if there are some words missing from the parchment, some words maybe that are scratched or unclear, or the sofer has missed out a word or missed out a letter, there's more leniency in a Megillah than there is with a Sefer Torah. Why? Because it's called Igeret, says the Kaf HaChaim, and Igeret is not only a sefer, not only a book, not only a proper book, but rather it's also like a scroll, meaning to say like some sort of novel scroll. And sometimes if something is missing here, a little bit there, then there's more leniency. So we take the two halachot in two different categories, and we make one, and we can understand one theme from both of them. The halacha of what if a word is missing, and the halacha is what if I missed a word, have the same equal denominator, which is the same outcome, which is that you could still keep going and it's still considered kosher. And that's only if it's minimal here and there spotted situations. But if it's so many words that the Megillah is missing, and by the way, we can imagine going back in time, it was hard to find a Megillah, it was hard to write a Megillah, it was hard to transport our Megillahs from place to place, and so maybe you had Megillot that were really in bad condition. Maybe there was a fire, maybe there was some sort of water damage to a Megillah, and so maybe that's the only one you were able to use. It's kosher if it's more than 50% written. If it's less than 50% written, it is not kosher. That is very extreme. That is very extreme. With the exception, if it's the first pasuk and the last pasuk, or very integral pasukim in the process of the story of salvation. So if it's the first or last, or one of the important things, like Mordechai Yoshev B'Sha'ar HaMelech, the 10 sons of Haman, and different things like that, then over there, then it's not valid. But otherwise, if it says, instead of Umordechai, it says Umordech, it's still a kosher Megillah. If it says Esther, instead of Esther, it says Seter, it's still a kosher Megillah. Very minor letters or things like that, it's still kosher. And therefore, the same applies if I didn't hear one word here, one letter there, another word there, but it's not from the integral, right? I'm saying it's just a word. It's not like if I went to the bathroom and I missed like 5 minutes of the Megillah. That's not okay. But a word here, a word there, it's okay. But what do I do when I missed the word? I still have to say it. Just like when you have a Megillah that's missing a couple words, the Chazan has to say it al peh, by heart. So it says Umordechai Yoshev B'Sha'ar HaMelech, and the word Yoshev is missing. So the Chazan knows the pasuk, right? So he doesn't see the word Yoshev, but he has to say it by heart. So it's kasher, and so to yourself and us. If we didn't hear the word Umordechai Yoshev, we didn't hear the word Yoshev, we quickly have to say it by heart, because it's just like you would say it by heart if you were the Chazan. But you have to say it, but you have to make sure that the Chazan didn't already go 4 psukim forward, and then you're going to say Yoshev, because then you're reading it backwards, and we're not allowed to read it backwards. So really, just to make it simple for us, if you missed a word here, a word there, make sure you say it quickly from your Chumash, not too loud to disturb other people. Kaf HaChaim says that's also a problem. Quickly from your Chumash or by heart, and then it's considered that you have done the mitzvah of hearing the entire Megillah. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Shabbat tov.